Hey, good day. Welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Well, let's take a look. It's currently 7.3 positive. If we take a look up here, we have a number 1. If I touch it, it says I have 5 hours. 5 hours of this sensor life. So, we're going to have to change it soon. Right now it says I'm fully calibrated. I haven't had a correction since just before midnight. So in theory, today I have not had a correction. My blood sugars are all pretty stable. It was another stable night. That's a win. Trust me, that is a win. We're at 96% time in range. We're back. That's wonderful. We still have 4%. Now, above 10%, we want it at 4 or less. And below 3.9, we want it at 4 or less. Sorry. If it goes 0%, we're happy. If it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, we're happy. 5, we have to take a look and seeing, what more do we want to discuss? So, all pretty good. Look at this number. Average blood sugar is 8.3. You bring this down, you bring that down. That is almost normal blood sugar. Back in my many years of diabetes, it used to be 8.2 was sort of like the top of a normal blood sugar. Now they're kind of trying to get a little bit tighter, and that just comes from what they've learned. So we're looking pretty good. Today I want to discuss site changes. I have right here, I'm not just where it is. I have a sensor right there, right there, and it's going to need to be changed. So that's what we're going to discuss today. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Okay, so we're going to do a sensor change. First thing, important to know, that you're going to get messages like that. Possible sensor interactions, no sensor available, you're going to get an X, it's going to stop reading. That's because the part that goes in your body isn't going to be there. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your transmitter. That's the white part here. You're going to need a charger. That's the gray. This takes a AAA battery. And you get a fair amount of uses out of it. You're going to have to charge your battery for about 30 to 40 minutes. Today, when I put it on, it was about 40 minutes. Okay, so we have that ready. I have the sensor itself. Now, you're not going to be wearing the whole thing, so relax. It's going to be okay. Let's see what else I have. You're going to need adhesive tape. You're going to need your Tegaderm style tape, adhesive tape that tapes the sensor to your body. Now, you can go out and you can spend a lot of money on the individual patches. Well, that's awesome. Kids enjoy them, but you don't have to. This is Tegaderm. This is size 1624W. This can cover your sensor and it keeps the sensor to your body. One of my first experiences wearing a sensor, I lost the sensor. And I was lucky enough to once again find it. That's just telling me, oh, I don't have a sensor going. Okay, you're gonna need your inserter, and we'll show you how to do this in a sec. You're gonna need, well, for me, I use alcohol wipes. This type I got off Amazon. Back at the end of the 90s, I bought a whole bunch of them, and they're still going strong. Now I'm in a facility, I can start using theirs once this one dies. Now, Medtronic sells Skin Tack, and I'm sure some of the other companies, pump companies, still carry Skin Tack, and that's just to allow things to stick to your body better. This here is all I need, but some people may find that they need the Tegaderm. Okay. So, we have everything available. Let's start. First thing first, we're going to take our sensor. We're going to open it, it's easy open. I would not suggest, if you have one open, that you use that. If it's being changed, you can pretty well, or tampered with, or opened before, you can pretty well ask for a replacement and Tegaderm. I have Tegaderm on the brain, sorry, itch. Medtronic is fairly good at replacing these. I hold it at the base and pull it out. Now, the next point I'm not going to be able to show you because I got to do over on the table, but let's just see if I can do it this way. You take this, you see the hole in the bottom, you put it in there, you put it on your table, and you get it pushed in. I kind of did a little haphazardly there. Now, these two little wings on either side, you see it? That's your sensor stand. You're going to pull it out, and that you have your stand left. Okay, you're ready to go with that now. We have our Tegaderm, it's called oval tape. So let's take one out. So now let's just modify this down to my stomach area. Oops. Let's put you just out of reach for a moment. First things first, take your alcohol and you want to clean your area. Now, something I have learned personally is when you're going to clean the area, you've got to sort of give it a good sort of clean. I was always taught friction to loosen up any bacteria on your skin. Even if you just came out of a shower, you still want to do this, get it all clean, so that there's nothing that will grow under the tape. So you're going to let it dry. So we'll just sit here and let it dry for a bit. Do 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 do. Now, while you're waiting for it to dry, don't sort of touch it to see if it's dry. You could just sort of show some light on it, and you'll be able to tell if it's dry or not. Okay, so we have our sensor. This little thumbprint is how you want to hold your sensor until it's placed. I don't find that comfortable. I usually do it just as long as you don't, have your fingers on the green part. This is where your transmitter is going to be. The butt end of this right here. So that's the way you're going to do it. So if you put it on where you cleaned, and you put your thumbs and your pointer finger on the insertion device, place it where you want to go. I need help with that hand. You press it in and you pull it off. Your sensor is in. A couple of things I do first is I hold it down on either side and I pull the covering to the adhesive tape off, and that's your first layer of defense of keeping your sensor in. Second of all is this little plastic part. I just press in on either side again and pull it out. There's the needle that went into you. Sorry, where is it? There's the needle that went into you. You pulled it out. It's only that little piece of metal left in you. And it clicks. Even though it's a sharp, it's gone. It's well protected. It still needs to go into a sharps container. I put it in my little basket there. I then pull this out and we're ready for our sensor. What do we do with it? I had it somewhere. Here it is. God, I'm blind half the time. Okay, so here's the sensor. When you put the transmitter into your sensor, it just slides right in. You're going to start getting a flashing green light. It's going to have to go through its whole cycle to make sure that you're at 100% charge. That way you can make sure that you're raring to go for the whole life of your sensor. Nothing's worse than trying to undo everything. So we're back down over here. Let's get a better picture. So what I'm going to do here is I just slide it out. I do 2 fingers and just bring it out. And as you do that, I'm trying to get this quickly. You can see the flashing green light. It does it for about 10. Oh, but we forgot one tab. Bad YouTuber. We need to take our oval tape, and here they have a little number system. First of all, you have to take one and peel it off. Be careful, it does get sticky. You take this, you're going to place it down as such, and then here, the twos, just pull that away. And then do the same the other way. Pull it away, and there you got your second layer to make sure your sensor stays intact. Very rarely have I had an issue with losing the sensor. Okay, so we have our transmitter. Now when you put your transmitter on, we're going to look for the little light to flash. So there we go. Sometimes it takes a little moment. There we go. You see the flashing green light? That means it's in yours. It's ready to transmit, and you just stick that tape on. Now, if you read from the Medtronic guide, it says you can use now a second part of that oval tape to cover it, to secure it. I use the Tangaderm. If you just open it up, if you ever had an IV, you will know what this tape is kind of like. This tape is also excellent if you need to have ointment over a small wound, as it'll keep the ointment on the wound. You peel this, you separate the two sides. And you take your two sides and you cover your transmitter. Like I said, you can do it in one. However, if you find you sort of half in, half off, I usually lay another one over to the side just to offset it. Now, there's a little break up here. You just kind of peel not the tape away, just the top covering. And of course, it's not going to work. There we go. You're peeling this part off. And just go around with your finger just to make sure everything's staying down. And there, the transmitter is changed. Now that would be awesome if that's all you had to do. But you have to go, I can cover that now. You have to go to your pump, turn it on, and you get this message, sensor connected. And follow the instructions. It says, if new sensor, select start. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's bring it up, down, and we're going to start new sensor, and we're going to press start, and you hear the beep, and you go down and you press OK, and you go through a 2-hour wait. And what's happening during the 2 hours? Let's bring you back up. So there we go. What's happening within the 2 hours is the sensor wire is getting used to your interstitial fluid. Because you have to remember that the sensor reads the interstitial fluid, which differs a bit from your blood sugars. Sometimes you can luck out and get the numbers that correspond this with your finger pokes. Other times you won't, and that's fine. A finger poke gives you an indication of what you're doing right now, okay? Where this is going to give you a rolling blood sugar. In 2 hours, we're going to have to do a finger poke to start the whole sensor going. And then within 6 hours, and try to do it as close to the time as possible, you're going to need to do another blood sugar. And usually, if you let them run their course of setup, you can usually get away with 1 or 2. But if you shorten it by any means, sometimes it will come back that it'll need another blood sugar. I've had it gone to almost bedtime before it clicked in and I got a full 12-hour sensor. Your first day, you're going to have to watch it. And that's basically just doing this, seeing how the circle up here, once that circle is full, then you know that you have 12 hours left. It's not going to start reading. This is probably not going to start reading till about 10 after 7 this morning. It's now 5:11. Took me, well, I was explaining it to you. It took about an hour to do everything. And that's including the half an hour of me waiting for my sensor to charge. Ideally, you want to do this as early in the morning as possible for you. So if you know it's a sensor change day, get up, do it quickly, and then you're set, minus the blood sugar. So on a change day, I will always have my glucometer handy. And that's pretty well it. That's all you really need to know about your sensors and changing them. Your sights, if you think of your belly button as the center of a clock, you want to kind of rotate around 2 rings for myself. I will change and I will do kind of a cross within 3 inches. I know Medtronic's probably going to say 6, but keep rotating. Don't always keep putting in the exact same spot, because it's going to build up and you're not going to get the good readings because the fluid isn't going to be there, or it's going to be harder for the fluid to reach. Now, this is better than I thought, but I may do an update a little bit later down the road in my channel. But that's how I changed my sensor. Ideally, this will go to next Friday morning, and then we'll be ready to change again. And with that, have a great day. One more point. If you can put it in your back of your arms your buttocks if you really want to. I would stay away. You can watch videos of people putting their Dexcoms right here. You want a little bit of fat, and here doesn't have your body's fat on it. That's my last point. Okay, have a good day. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.